favorite crafting buddies. How are you today, boys and girls? Thank you so much for being here at Crafting with Grammy. Having you here makes me so happy. How do you like my sea turtle hat? Pretty cool, isn't it? For today's craft, we're going to go into the ocean and we're going to be making these really awesome 3D sea turtles. Aren't those neat? So settle in with me and let's get crafting. Welcome back. I'm ready to start crafting, aren't you? I've got on my crafting apron that my grandchildren made for me. Isn't that special? And I brought out my craft basket so we can see what we're going to need in order to make our really cool third-dimensional sea turtles. Let's take a look and see what I've got. First, you're going to be needing some glue. Grammy is using a quick dry tacky glue. That's a good one to have. You're going to be needing some craft sticks or popsicle sticks. Now, the kit that mine came in were already painted blue. So that's what color I'm going to be doing today. You're going to be needing some paint. I'm going with blue because mine were already painted blue. You're going to be needing a plastic spoon. You're going to be needing a paintbrush. You're going to be needing some googly eyes. Now, I just happen to have some color googly eyes, and that's what I'm going to be using today, but you can use any color you want. You're going to be needing a pair of scissors. You're going to be needing a small piece of cardboard. I just cut this off the flap of a box of something that I got in the mail, and that works just fine. You're going to be needing, now this might be a fun one to try and find around the house. You need to find a round item with a 3-inch circumference, so 3 inches across. I just happened to find this little tiny bowl in my cupboard, and that's what I'm going to use. And you're going to be needing some construction paper. Now I'm going to be making the body of my turtle blue and green. Now you can use one color or two colors. It's entirely up to you. And that's all we need. So let's make some turtles. All right, step number 1. I'll need you to get out those craft sticks that you have. Again, mine were already painted blue, but now is the time that you would want to paint yours if yours aren't pre-painted. So I'm going to set those aside since mine are done, but you're going to paint both the front and the back of yours. Also, I want you to get out that plastic spoon, and we're going to paint that. So Grammy's going to do that. And again, I decided to go with blue. So I'm just going to give a quick coat to the back of that spoon. You want to do just the back all the way to the end because that end is going to be the turtle's tail. So I'm just going to give that a good coat. And we're starting off with the spoon so that it has a chance to dry while we do everything else. So there you go. Just a single coat of paint will do. And I'm going to go ahead and set that off to the side. All right. Step number 2. I'd like you to get out that construction paper that I asked you to have. Now you remember Grammy is making her turtle blue and green, but yours will be any color that you chose and it's going to be just perfect. All right. Starting off with one sheet, I'd like you to put it in front of you with the long side facing you, and we're going to fold it over on itself. And bring it right to the edge of the other side. And then fold that right in half, just like so. So you end up with kind of an envelope shape. Everybody got that? Okay. Now we're going to take that and we're going to fold it in thirds. So just eyeballing it is fine. I want you to bring that part over about 1/3 of the way, leaving 1/3 of the way here. All right. And we're going to fold that down just like that. Perfect. So now you should have that shape going. All right, now we're going to bring that other side right over the top. So we'll fold that over, bring that over, and get that down. There we go. All right, and fold that one just like that. All right, so you have multiple layers here. That's perfect. That's just what we want. Okay, now remember that object I had you find that was 3 inches around? I want you to take that and I want you to set it right on top of that paper, just like that. And then grab a pencil or a marker and you're going to trace around the edge of that all the way around. Perfect. Just like so. So you end up with a perfect circle right on top of that stack of papers. All right. Now I'm going to do the same thing with the green sheet that I have. Yours will either be the same color or a different color. Again, we're going to fold it over on on top of itself there. There we go. Now we're going to go in thirds. So bring this one over just about, leaving a third left on the other side. Perfect. Fold it down. Again, that's what your shape will look like. All right, and bring that other piece over the top, just like so. Easy peasy, huh? Now take that dish, put that on top, and we're gonna trace it just like we did on the other piece. Just like so. So again, we end up with a perfect circle. All right, now I'd like you to get your scissors out, and we're gonna cut those circles out, okay? So Grammy will grab her scissors here, and just really quick, follow that line all the way around. It's pretty thick, so it takes a lot of muscle to cut through, but we want the circles to be all the exact same size. All right. All done. All right, so you will be left with, let me get that out of the way, you'll be left with 6 circles, all the same size. That's perfect. Now I'm going to cut the blue one out. One more time, all the way around. So easy, just follow the line. And there we go. Super easy. Again, let me get that out of the way. And now I've got 6 circles in the alternating color, or the same color, whichever you've decided. Now, I'd like you to take one of those pieces and set it aside. We're gonna need that in a little bit, okay? Now these other pieces, we're gonna do some folding. So let me clear the space here so you get a good view. All right. Take the first one. Grammy will do green first. And we're just going to fold these right in half. So setting it down on the table, we're going to match the sides here. Fold it over on itself. And then run our finger along that line. So you end up with kind of a taco shell shape. Just like that. Okay? I'd like you to do that with all the little discs of color that you have in front of you. We're just going to keep on going until we have them all folded. All right, so while we have those all folded, you should end up with a big old pile of taco shells in front of you. All right, we're going to move on to the second step. I'd like you to take one of those, and we're going to take our glue, and on one side of it, on the outside of it, all right, so there's the taco shell. On the outside of that first taco shell, we're going to run a bead of glue, just a little bit, it doesn't take much, right around the edges, just like that. And then if you're using an alternating color, you want to use that. Otherwise, we're just going to use them all the same. You're going to go ahead and set that right on top of there, just like that. So you end up with 2 of them glued together, and it's going to look just like that. Okay, now we're going to continue on. So again, on the outside, and I'm going to go my alternating color, which I am putting glue on green, so I'm going to be gluing the blue one on next. And I'm just going to set a blue one right on top of that one. Perfect. You just want to line them up really good. Great. And we're just going to continue until we've glued them all together in one stack. All right, so when you have your whole stack all glued together, it should come out just like that. Does everybody's look like that? I hope so. Isn't that cool? All right, we're gonna set that aside and let that dry for a minute. Now, remember that little piece of cardboard that I asked you to have? I'd like you to get that out. Put that in front of us. And again, taking that same little dish that you found that was 3 inches wide, I want you to set that down on the piece of cardboard, and we're gonna trace around the edge, just like we did with the construction paper. Perfect. All right, so I've got my perfect circle, and I'm going to go ahead and cut that out now. That takes a little muscle too. Cut the extra pieces off as you go. It makes it a little bit easier. Right. There's our cardboard circle. Now go ahead and put that in front of you. And remember that little blue piece or whatever piece you had that I asked you to set aside? I want you to get that out. That was the extra one that we put aside. All right, and we're going to run a little bit of glue along the top of our cardboard, just like that. It doesn't take much, maybe a little bit in the middle too. Perfect. All right, now I want you to take that piece of paper and I want you to glue it right down to the top of our cardboard. Give it a good little push, make it stick really well. So you should end up with a little circle with cardboard on one side and your color on the other. All right, perfect. Now we'll set that aside for now. And I want you to get out the spoon. Is your spoon dry? Mine is. Okay. Now we need to get some googly eyes on. This is going to be his head, so we need to put some googly eyes on. And I think Grammy's going to choose some pink googly eyes today, just to be a little different. All right, so I want you to put a little dab of glue. So you're going to face the spoon towards you, spoon end. There's his tail, there's his head. So I want you to put a little dab of glue, and we're just going to go right to the end of the spoon. So I'm going to put one there, just like that. Perfect. And then I'm going to do the other side, just like that. So you should have it just like so. All right, and let's take those googly eyes and stick them on here. Boy, they're stuck to my tablecloth. There we go. All right. There is our turtle's googly eyes. Aren't those cool? All right, let's set that aside and we'll get that disc back out with the cardboard on one side and the paper on the other, and put that cardboard side down in front of you. Okay? Now get out your craft sticks. They should be dry by now. Get 2 of them ready. All right, now we're going to be gluing these onto that circle. And we want to square them up, just like so, a perfect X. Okay, so figure out where the middle is. And the middle on Grammy's is going to be about right there. And we're going to put a good dab of glue on there. We're going to run that glue to each end, just like that. All right, super easy. Now take one of those popsicle sticks and glue it down, making sure that you have the same amount on either side. Okay? All right, let's get that centered really well. All right, perfect. Now we're going to take the other popsicle stick and putting a little bit of glue on top of the one you just glued, right in the center of it from end to end. So your glue is going to look just like that. Okay, we're going to take that other popsicle stick and we're going to glue that one down right on top of the other one. Perfect. So you should end up with just a perfect crisscross right on top of that blue sheet of paper. All right, super. All right, now give that a good press so it sticks. All right, now we're going to take that spoon that we just finished putting the googly eyes on, and we're going to glue that one down next. So take a bead of glue and run it right across there, and it's going to go on the diagonal this time. It's going to look just like that. Okay, and you're just going to set that spoon down. And you want to leave just a little bit hanging out the end for his tail. And give that a good push. Let that stick really well. All right, we're going to set that aside and give it a time to dry. All right, and we'll start on the next item. All right, so while we're waiting for the head and the fins of our little turtle to dry, I want you to get this little piece right back out, okay? And what I'd like you to do is open it up, just go through it just like so. Run your finger along here. We're just making sure that it stays separated really well. We're going to do it with each layer, just like that. Just making sure that none of them stuck together incorrectly. And I think that mine is pretty well separated. One more. There we go. All right. Now when you fan it out, it should fan out evenly all the way across. Okay? All right. Let's see if our little turtle's body set up well. I think the glue is setting pretty well. So you're going to get him in front of you, just like so. Okay? Then I'd like you to run a bead of glue. And we're going to run it along the sides of him. So it's going to be right here and right here. Okay? So let's do that. Just real quick on either side. Just like so. Perfect. So your glue is going to be on the sides of his body, on both sides, okay? All right, set that down in front of you again. And get out this piece. And hanging on to the ends, to just the end pieces here. All right, we're going to set that right on top of his body. Let me get that really close for you. There we go. And we're going to set it right down and try and match it up to that bottom cardboard piece that you put there. And just hold it down there for a minute and let that glue set up for a minute. Perfect. And guess what? You're done. You just made your 3D turtle. Isn't that cool? As always, thank you so much for being here with me today, boys and girls. I hope you had as much fun as I did making these really cool 3D sea turtles. For our next video, we're going to be leaving the ocean and we're going to head deep into the forest and we're going to make these really awesome pine cone snowy owls. Aren't those neat? Again, thanks so much for being here. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up and please press the subscribe button below. Take care. Bye-bye.